You hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. How do I look? Can you see me?
Yeah, I see you.
Okay, okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
You hear me? All right.
Yes.
This is a new setup.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm
So I'm trying
wondering.
to figure out, if I did this right. So it's the first time I ever went live on Instagram, Chicago Foods Red.
Oh, okay.
Okay, somebody said no audio, but you can hear me.
I can hear you.
All right.
So they
Okay.
can't. They saying no audio where on all the
I think
platforms.
somebody, but now they can. Now they can.
Okay, okay. So it's just okay, okay.
All right. So all right, this is I started this because I want to make sure y'all understand what's really going on in city council. Okay,
Mm.
because y'all really need to understand city council. So what I try to do is I try to do a live stream in the beginning. And usually I live stream the whole thing would be 2-3 hours and it'd just be too much. So I'm gonna do the first half and then of the public comment and stuff. And I'm gonna go back to tell y'all about the actual meeting. But today it was the first city council for 2026. And as you guys recall, December 29th, 2025, there were two meetings. There was a budget meeting, and then there was regular city council meeting. The budget meeting was supposed to be at 9:30 a.m. The city council meeting was at 10. You have to be downstairs by 9 o'clock. Well, by 9:30, but I'll say 9 o'clock, 9:30, and they will pick you do the lottery, and they'll pick the 10 people or the 8 people. Today was 8 people. They had 2 people virtual. But the committee meeting, you're allowed. You should be able to speak as long as you want, but they allocate 30 minutes as well. We were told that that the city council meeting was going to be delayed, and because the budget meeting was going to be delayed, and we could sign up upstairs once they did the lottery for the city council. Um, that day I was picked. Lynetta was picked, and one of her children was picked from our group, and then some other people. We went upstairs first, and when went upstairs, the budget meeting had already started. So when the meeting already started, by the time Danielle and Miss Jessica came upstairs, they were confused, and everybody was confused because they said we could sign. The sergeant at arms said we could sign. They said we could sign up upstairs, but they just really throw him under the fire. It's really be Alvin
Right.
Starks and the city count and the committee man. So it's really not him. At first, I used to get upset at him, but you can't get upset at him because it's not him. It's literally Alvin Starks and whoever's the chairman of the committee, and it was Jason Irvin at that time. Instead of going ahead and letting public comment content happen because they were in the wrong, they decided that they were going to move everybody out, remove everybody from the chambers, kick Miss Jessica out, kick Danielle out, kick anybody out, and then they were going to start the meeting back, but they weren't allowed to come back in. So it was a whole big thing. Instead of him understanding he broke the Open Public Meetings Act, he broke the policy. We were lied to and said that we were going to be able to speak at a 9:30 meeting, just going to be a little bit. They were going to push it back, but that was a lie because that's what they just do. That this is city council. They just didn't want us to get on the mic. You know what I'm saying? Three, like usually, if it's one of us, it's already bad, but three of us, all of us on the mic is like suicide. So yeah, so that was just basically what it is.
Yeah.
However, this is what they did to me last year as well. I was even though mine didn't even happen in the chambers. Mine happened in the hallway when me and David Moore got into it. With me telling David Moore, you continue to sell out our community. You continue to give our land and property to these white developers who don't have no idea about Auburn Grisham or whatever. And I said I was going to do a famous Friday on the dude. And I told him, I said, "You selling out the community." He said that was a threat because I said this, and then I know 2 days later, the next week, I get a letter that says that I'm banned for 90 days, but I can log in and speak whatever. And that's when I decided, I said, F this, and I went and did my lawsuit because you're not going to ban me from, first of all, I didn't do anything. Second of all, freedom of speech. And third of all, the U.S. Constitution does not, I mean, your policies, your rules, I don't care what y'all think the rules that y'all put down there, they do not override the U.S. Constitution. They do not override your due process or the First Amendment. And for some reason, they don't understand that.
Yeah.
So
They
today,
understand that when it comes down to illegal aliens, because that's what they're
yeah,
arguing, and that's why they have like 51 lawsuits against Trump right now. So they understand it
oh yeah,
clearly
yeah.
when it comes down to illegal aliens' rights, because they're finding laws in the Constitution that they don't have, laws that they don't have, illegal aliens don't have. So they understand it when it comes
Right.
down to protecting illegal aliens. They somehow don't understand it when it come down to American citizens. I just wanted to intervene with that.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely
Mhm.
right. And yes, so that is the case. So today I got there around 9:15. I had my little music on. So I didn't really understand what was going on until I was waiting till 9:30, and then Miss Jessica was like, "Oh, they said I can't come upstairs." And I'm like, "Huh?" And she's like, "They said I can't come upstairs. They said I'm banned. I'm waiting for the letter now," something like that. So I'm like, "Oh, okay." What they did to me. So this is just a little bit of the beginning. Let me just make
Mhm.
sure I got
So
this.
So that's what was happening. I'm banned. So I was able to get a lawyer. It's gonna cost, guys. And I thank everyone for on X and Facebook, on our Facebook, who have sent donations and things, because from the donations and things, we were able to get a lawyer, because they have to understand we're not playing with them. We have to set the precedence for anybody else who's going to come after this and fight. Because if we
Yeah.
keep allowing them to do this with no consequences, as you see, the Democratic Party are not used to consequences. They have rules for you, but not rules for them. So when you start holding them accountable, then it's a problem. So we must let them understand that you're not going to violate our rights, especially, guys, when we are seeing them fight really hard for illegal alien rights that they don't have. You're not going to
Right.
fight for their rights. In my face, I see you, Kwame Raoul, who we have not seen since he been elected. He's a
Yeah.
Haitian. But we can't. He's not here to fight on our behalf. But you have. He got 51 life lawsuits for Trump, the Trump administration, for ICE
And
and different.
tears.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
Haitian tears.
and yes. So come on, guys. These are your elected officials that we have elected to represent us that don't. When I keep saying we're in a dire situation, you all are going to keep voting these Democrats in. And before you know it, we're going to be a communist country. We already seeing it in a local level, what they want to call fascists and all that. They're the dictator. They're the
Yeah.
fascists. They're the communists. And if we don't stop playing, we're going to have that when it come down to countrywide, because these people are not playing. When you see the agenda they have for us, me and Zobin just looking at it with the CTU and looking at it with the New World Order, it's serious. And
Not serious.
it's gonna take Americans to rise up, and that's all. Yeah. So what you were saying, so
So yeah, so this is a little bit of low of the violation of the rights. Yeah,
Yeah,
what
what
is
is
it?
it?
What are
What
they
are they
saying?
saying? This right here.
I gotta get to it when he said it to
it's like
her.
a
It was
feedback.
funny.
Do you all hear feedback? It was like a feedback when you were playing
Probably
it.
is. I don't, this is.
I know you getting I know you have your equipment and you getting the field.
Oh, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a feedback.
All right, so let me see.
We are passionate about hemps.
You hear it now?
Okay, let me play it so I can see.
All right, hold on. You know, they got some. I want us to listen to these commercials.
Commercial.
It's a long commercial.
Any
Oh,
sort
the
of
long
hat that you can think of, the village has will carry.
Yeah, it's still a feedback.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, hold on.
So this is
Violated
today.
our rights and wouldn't let us speak at the
Oh,
budget
it's good.
hearing. Right. I don't know if Daniel getting one too. I don't know. I just took mine and walked away.
Okay, that was good.
I am. I just want to just.
Are you not? You're not going to give it
I
to me?
am going to give it to
Okay, then give it to me. Then give it to me. Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Sir, to introduce you that you are hereby banned from in-person attendance in the meeting. For 60 days. Okay? Yeah.
60 days.
Yes, 60 days.
Miss Jessica. Miss Jessica. Why? What was the thing? Because it's a lawsuit. Yeah, what are they saying?
This right here.
I got the same one when they did me, but you have to. This is a lawsuit.
I know it is.
Yeah, go
I'm just
down.
waiting for Afro week to come because he said he was on his way.
So why? So they're banning Miss Jessica for 60 days.
Right.
Alvin Stark, same thing they did last year for me. Feedback, right?
No, it's still I can hear. It seems like hey guys, how does it sound? Because it's it's normal. I can hear it.
Okay, you can. All right.
Yeah, I can hear it. It's good. Hey guys, how does it
Down
sound to
this
you?
line
Right.
to the 29th in person
No.
or ban?
That's from the 29th when they violated our rights and wouldn't let us speak at the budget hearing. Right. I don't know if Daniel getting one too. I don't know. I just took mine and walked away. Oh, were you still reading?
No, I cannot believe this. So Miss Jessica is banned for 60 days for December 29th for them violating her rights.
60 days, they gonna violate my rights. But that's all right, tune in. Because you know Miss Jessica, she got plenty of speaking opportunities. Plenty. I got one today at 5 o'clock, as a matter of fact. Plenty. This would be an issue if City Hall was the only mic in Chicago. Then this would be a real issue. This would be an issue if Cook County was the only mic. This would be an issue if the state of Illinois, if this was the only mic. This is small fries. Stay tuned.
Right. Danny Barr too.
He just gave it to me. I got 60-day bar. Can I see? Can I see what they did?
Yeah.
Is that even a real letter?
It is.
It's hey, Barr,
Me too.
violation.
That's sold up my badge of honor. That's sold up my badge of honor. Wait a minute, that's sold right there. What did you move it to?
Hey Barr, Lanetta.
And say Danny probably born too.
Yeah.
I was about to say Danny probably born too.
Oh, Danny Barr too.
Sold up my badge of honor.
Yeah.
It's how you know when you call. It's how you know when you call. I can't come in jail inside 6 days when you call. They won't even get paid. And you ain't even did nothing. You ain't even did the all it's got to go down.
Yeah. Okay, then. Last year for me. They barred me 3 days later. That's why I took the lawsuit. Yeah, but I got that. Yeah.
You ready to file the lawsuit?
And it just went, and mine just went through discovery. And we got it all taped.
It was random. No, they I signed up.
Yeah, guys, they basically ban all CFR. Yeah. Hello? Can you hear me? Are we froze? Hello?
Same around the same time too. I had mine as well. I did a whole video on mine. And they continue to do this because the pressure, the pressure is on. These people are absolutely terrible people. They're corrupt. They're very corrupt. I'm waiting until she come back. Oh, here she go.
I'm
You
here.
back? I
I
didn't
know.
see you.
I know.
It went away.
I know. I was here and I was saying hello, hello.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That was. Mm-hmm.
Oh no. So I was just telling them about that, and then I was gonna go to today the city council meeting was about banning some of the hemp products that they feel that are hurting our children and stuff, and about the ordinance, the curfew, the teen curfew. Um, but there was a guy that came earlier about what's going on with the environment and Peter Chico's ward, which is kind of important, and I wanted to play it because I think
Oh
people need to
yeah, I
understand
saw
this.
that. Mm-hmm. We need to
Yeah,
talk about that, Zoe. Yup.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna switch it for a minute. Uh okay, this is working a little. I like this little
Yeah, I
setup a
like
little
this
bit,
setup. Right.
shout
Woo.
out to Damien. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, it's working out. I got my sweater jacket on.
It's
Kind of
sweater
cold.
jacket. Kind of
Yeah,
cold.
guys, we have to sue. We're going to yeah, we have to go to court. So we're going to do that. Somebody asked, can we sue the mayor for obstruction of freedom of speech? Yes, we have to.
Oh
The
yeah,
thing
for
is,
sure.
guys, it's the money. If we had a bunch of money, you could just go
No,
hire a
no, but
lawyer.
it's not even really the money. It's the lack of lawyers out here that when I'm talking about all of DEI, none of these people are qualified. White, black,
Hmm.
Puerto Rican, Spanish, Indian, Asian, and we don't have no lawyers out here. They don't know the U.S. Constitution. These people have literally slept their way to the top. Knew somebody to get them in there. These people have no idea what they're doing, and it's just been so. It's been forever. It's been happening for so long that it's to the point now. It's like, damn, like it's just terrible. But no, it's the fact that we don't have no competent lawyers. They all ought to be personal injury lawyers.
Mm.
Well, making sure
Hold on.
and
Oh yeah, they
the
get
whole
Look
paid
at
off.
him. Nobody paying
for that
attention.
reason, I encourage members of City Council to vote yes
She
on this
just
ordinance.
came back.
Thank
Maria
you.
Haddon, right
Thank you
It's an
here.
very much for your
echo. It's an
comments.
echo.
Our next speaker is Arnold Bradford.
Okay, let me hear it now. Let me see. It sounds like it was clearing up. Let me hear it.
Good morning, City Council. Good
It's
morning,
good.
Mayor Johnson. My name is Arnold Bradford. In the neighborhood, they call me Mr. B. I'm an active senior, currently serving as Executive Director of the Crossroads Collaborative and as a member of the Southworks Coalition. As a resident of the South Chicago community and the 10th Ward, I'm here to ask the Chicago City Council and my alderman, Peter Chico, to support a community benefits agreement. We want this agreement for the South Chicago community because of the contamination and the work being done at the former U.S. Steel site on the lakefront. Our coalition currently supports clean development on that site, and we've been doing it for over a decade, but without resident displacement. We don't want to lose our homes because we can't pay our bills. I think most of you understand that. Bills are going up, taxes are going up. You know it. We don't want resident displacement. We don't want increased electric bills, utility bills. We don't want increases in our data rates because that's coming. And they haven't told you the whole story. Now, let me just say one more thing. I have a list of things that's so long I didn't bring it with me, but I just have a few bullet points, if you bear with me. We are asking you, that's the council, and our other elected officials, to protect us from a century of accumulated poisons and pollutants. You say, wait a minute now, the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency is already doing that for you. Oh no, they passed the buck because you are the ones that do permitting. You are the ones that control construction in this city. And you've been doing it since I was a baby. So let's get on it. I'm sorry, sometimes I get a little excited, Mayor. We want you to monitor the fast track permitting process, the construction process. You know what fast track means. Somebody slipped it through. You understand that. We know it's important to the state. We agree with that. It is important, but let's do it the right way. To protect our children, families in adjacent neighborhoods, schools and parks, we want to do that for them near our Quantum site. The Quantum site, for those of you who don't know, is between 79th and the Calumet River. It's a huge site. It's going to affect all of us. It's on the lake, people. And we want you to protect our health. Don't we have a health department here? We want you to watch and observe and monitor. We found, as residents, fugitive dust being produced by the
Thank you very much for your comments. Our next speaker this.
Yeah, so that's over there by that South Shore. Over there,
Oh,
right?
well, what he talking about, but where he talking about is Altel Gardens, and the air around Altel Gardens has been bad because the neighborhood was built into a zone of heavy pollution. So it's surrounded by industrial waste, landfills, sewage handling, and other contaminants. With weak regulation and enforcement that created ongoing chemical odors, and airborne pollution that affected residents' lungs and health. And Altel Gardens is what? Altel Gardens is a city of Chicago, CHA housing
Mm-hmm.
over there, right? And so when Rahm Emanuel was in,
It's like Argyle Gardens over there in
Argyle going, yeah,
oh
I'm not
yeah,
saying.
that's low income right over there. That's
Yeah, it is. So it's always been messed up over there.
Mm-hmm.
Saying so, Rahm eliminated the city's Department of Environment in 2013. And people said that weakened enforcement of pollution and environmental hazards, especially in predominantly Black and low-income areas like Altel Gardens.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they said, a lot of residents argue with the change left them without government help in fighting industrial pollution, illegal dumping, and environmental health. So that's what he basically was talking about. He lives in the 10th Ward. But he's bringing up over there in South Shore, the Quantum. That's why they give him Regal a hard time. That's why they're giving Regal a hard time. And remember the lady that we worked with, she just bought the land over there. And they were Michelle Harris wasn't trying to give it to her.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of her name right now.
Zuri,
But that
Zuri,
uh,
or something. Zuri.
yeah.
or something. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she that's why they were giving her a hard time, because over there in the Quantum is basically about to take over. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
that's they're trying to take the whole. As a matter of fact, they're trying to take 79th. The reason why they're trying to get rid of the Regal and stuff is because they're trying to basically eminent domain it, but I think it's landmark status. That's one of the reasons why they can't do it. So I guess they're trying to do like downgrade, try figure out a way how to do it, because they're trying to push the highway, the skyway over more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it goes directly into, it's supposed to be housing and then quantum. That's what it's supposed to be. So of course, they're not going to talk about it, because they don't want to talk about it, because all their friends are in the pot, the development pot, and all those things. So they're not going to say much or do much. But that is something that we need to start talking about, because first of all, Rahm Emanuel is out here doing speeches and stuff like he was not a terrible mayor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't as bad as this man, but he was, I mean, he was. He just knew how to cover it up. This is an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is a full-blown idiot. So
Yeah, he's a full
this,
blown.
yeah, he's a
Mm-hmm.
full-blown idiot. So that doesn't even matter. So, but that was very important what that guy was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm next.
Okay.
All right.
Good morning is Zoe Lee.
Guys, please share.
Happy New
Please.
Year. My birthday is Friday, Aquarius season. I just came back from Atlanta. That's where I came from, before I started this fight with my friends. And I was at this event, and a couple of my guys was like, yo, y'all mayor doing good. And I'm like, Brandon Johnson? And I had to break it down to him. But for me to come back and you ban my whole group except for me for 60 days is wild, because I want to know why December 11th, 2025, because we're in a $1.5 billion deficit. So I had to tell my homeboy, anyway, you gave Trinity United Church Child Care Center $16.5 million. Then when I started going and looking, it's like 4 million, 5 million, 6 million, 9 million. But property taxes is through the roof. People are losing their properties. They're losing their equity in their properties, all of this. And y'all keep talking about Trump. Trump don't got nothing to do with you giving that money to Trinity United Church Child Care Centers. We cannot pay taxes. I wouldn't pay no tax, honestly. Even the little taxes that they have, on a receipt, I just get a restaurant cash. Because we need a forensic audit. Okay? Mm-hmm. We need the Department of Justice to come in here. Okay? Because you have a spending problem, you have a stealing problem. And the legislative body, y'all let it happen because y'all stealing too. And then y'all can't tell on nobody because y'all do stuff like what Michael Scott Jr. just did to Andre Smith. Y'all are it's just sad. You know what I'm saying? It's just sad. I said that for my new year, I wasn't going to curse. I'm not drinking no more. So I'm not going to do that anymore. But I just had to let Atlanta know that you are a 6.6 a mayor, okay? And they also are losing. So Andre doing something wrong down there too, because y'all like this.
Mm,
Thank you very much for your comments.
mm.
Our next speaker is John Stratura.
So let's talk about that, Zoe. What you just said. Because it looked like we have another Minnesota going on here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So we got. I don't know if this. I'm gonna pull the man out. So maybe I don't know the guy. Maybe you know him. No, I don't know. You understand? So maybe you know him.
Please, please like and share, guys. Please share because we need this information to go out, especially if you live in Chicago. If you live in Chicago, please share this to in Illinois, to people, because this is who keep these Democrats in office. Chicago, Cook County, we need to make sure they understand that we must get these people out of office.
Yeah, let me see if I can get him. Like, that one's too skinny for me. I need y'all to see him.
Yeah. So we have another Minnesota. We have Minnesota, child care. But we know these churches are getting kickbacks because they in fund go on Brandon Johnson campaign and they keep their members on the Democratic plantation, even though everything that the policies are all against what the Bible say, but they don't care about that. They don't care about
Oh,
that
and,
because they're getting paid. So everything they're pushing to the congregation, to their church members, is anti-God, but they don't care. Look at
right.
him. Oh,
This is
oh
this
yeah,
is
look
this
at
is
him.
this is Reverend Dr. Otis. Reverend
Reverend
Dr.
Doctor.
Otis Moss.
Uh-huh. So that's the one who got the 16 million.
Yeah, December
Well,
11th, 2025. You know, he gonna, yeah.
how did he get that 16 million? Hold on. We were just in the deficit, right? We still in the deficit. We're in the
Yeah, we
deficit,
still in the
right?
deficit.
So they was
Yeah,
trying to figure out how they was gonna get money, and they found that way with nickel and diming us, right? Because we're paying we're definitely paying 15-cent bad tax. We are paying more Uber tax, streaming tax. We are paying social media tax. So we're paying what's that? If you have a business license, all those type of things, you're being taxed higher for those things. Driveway tax, all these taxes that we're
right.
being taxed for, but yet and still he was able to find in just in December alone. How much so? Just in
Oh,
December alone.
16.5 million.
Wow. Wow. So this just happened when we was down there, we were down there and had our pennies in a bunch about the
Right.
money, right? And he was able to just give him 16 million, huh?
Just 16 million, just like he was able to find 14 million, almost 16 million to Kenwood in December too, like the week before.
The week before, huh? So the
Yeah.
week before he was able, and so what was that money? So you said that they gave 4 million here, 1 million here, 4 million here. What was that in 1 month, right?
Well, no, since Brandon Johnson has been in office.
Okay. So
Um, yeah. So they have three. Um, hold on. Let me bring it. Let me get to it. So they have three child care centers.
hmm,
Well, two. Sorry.
hmm,
Dr. Jeremiah A. Wright Jr. Early Childhood Center. Then Dr. Deaton J. Brooks Early Childhood Center.
hmm, hmm.
So this is one question that I have. I'm gonna dig deep and do what we need to do. But so first of all, they have a tuition payment portal. and so people are paying tuition, right?
Mm,
Okay.
mhm.
My question is, we don't have enough children, right? We don't have enough children that are able to fill up these. I mean, I want to know how many children they have, because
Mhm.
16 million, 4 million, 9 million, 5 million, 10 million, all these millions of dollars for
Right.
these early childhood centers is, I'm confused.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Me too. Me too. And what is the curricular? Because see, we need to know what they're being taught too. So
Right,
what are they being taught? Because we know CPS, all of these funded, these government city funded organizations are teaching our kids, indoctrinating our kids to vote Democrat. I mean, to be baby socialists and communists that hate their country, and to be and to know their pronouns. So
right,
what's the curriculum? Because you have to, when you're being funded by the school, by the city, it's just like the churches. It's a certain type of curriculum, or you have to do whatever the rules are of the city in the state. You have to abide by them.
right.
So, because you're getting government funding. So what is the curricular? And like you said, how many kids is in that school? And what you doing? I want to know. I want to see. That's because that's our tax dollars. We're paying for that. And who is this guy? Who are you? I mean, and how much is your church getting? Because you got a
Yeah,
church and you got a school. I mean, come on. We
yeah,
need to know who he is. We got to do a famous Friday on him.
yeah. 'Cause I
Yeah,
really would love to
I,
see.
I think he deserved a famous Friday. I think he
I think
deserved,
so too. I think
yeah, a
because,
segment, a segment on its own. So
so
we got
yeah,
to
so we really can get down to know who Dr. Otis is.
do, yeah, because he
And
looked like
Trinity,
he,
and Trinity United Church.
hmm, yeah. And how is he? And I wonder, do he donate? I'm sure. Who is he associated with? Because I know they donating to Brandon Johnson campaign.
Right.
Because that's where the kickbacks come. The
That's
kickbacks
what-
come. I give you, so let's just say I give you 5 million. You keep a million plus, kick me back that 4 million. Or you keep 2 million, kick me back that 4 million. You give me, it's just how it goes. And make sure you get a nonprofit
Because the
organization.
churches are another sex trafficking ring.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah,
want to. People don't want to talk about it, but this is it.
yeah.
This is. They have learned how they are literally taking advantage of our most vulnerable in the in impoverished situations. And
Mm-hmm.
they do that because they know they can't have nobody to run to, or nobody's going to believe them if they've been, say they've been out here running with the wrong crew, right? Get caught up, go to jail, juvenile, whatever. Now they're home, and you see who they're only looking for. They're only looking for people like, people who don't get locked up, stuff like that. Because when they do go and say, "Hey, man, this man touched me," oh,
Yeah.
he's a troubled boy. You know what I'm saying? I got him
Mm-hmm.
from, he was locked up and I went and got him. Basketball Diaries. I don't know if you guys have ever watched Basketball Diaries, but
Mm-hmm.
Basketball Diaries is a prime example of that. Leonardo DiCaprio was in that movie, but that right there is just what they look for. You understand? That's why parenting is very important. And I hope you have those type of parents who will never throw you out in the wolves with these vultures like these church pastors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We have a hypersexual problem in our in the country, in the community, because nobody don't want to discuss it, nobody don't want to talk about it, nobody feels like they don't want to get therapy for it. They're just gonna pray it away, or get lost and caught up, and then now we're dealing with molestation and trafficking and all that through everything, the education, child care. You could do, what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what's going on with these kids, these child care centers,
Mm-hmm.
and the money
Mm-hmm.
that they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all
And
worried about Epstein. Y'all just mad because this man pulled y'all sex card. Y'all
mm-hmm.
molestation sex card. Y'all have always done weird stuff like this. And y'all thought that y'all could throw it back on him and make everybody look at him, but not look at all this money going through these child cares and these youth jobs. All this is sex trafficking with youth. This is children trafficking.
This is
This is the
because
children trafficking right here.
you all have to look at, remember, guys, and we are going to show you. I don't know, Zoe, if you can put it up. Listen, it's always, remember, I don't know if y'all remember, or if you all follow Chicago Flips Red page, we put out where Stephanie Coleman had put up a flyer on the criteria for youth to get into this trade program. Now, the trade program for our youth you had to be homeless. You had to be, if your parents were in jail, all trauma that the kid had to go through. But for illegal aliens, you just had to be a migrant. Guys, when you look at these criteria for these churches, when they give out these youth programs, it always have to be a child that if their parents not involved in their life, if their parents on drugs, if they've been in jail, and it's almost like 16 through 24. Think about why did they do that, and why is that criteria happening? Because when they get these kids, so when they get money for these kids, and you're a church and you're supposed to be helping these kids or whatever, say like you say, I employ 100 kids at my church. These kids, you come in here, now these kids don't have parents in their life that care about them, who even care where they at. So now that's a great, that person right there is a person that's a great victim. Because if you're touching them, if you're offering them money and things to work, and now you're touching them, then that kid don't have parents that care about them, so they don't have nobody to go report this to, and if they do, don't nobody believe them because they are troubled youth. So these are perfect victims that these people, these predators, or I'm not saying him, but this is how they do things. Because we ask a question: why do any type of help that our kids get, you have to be trauma? It's trauma. You can't just get a regular kid that have loving parents that our taxpayer pay for, and they want to trade. American kids.
I thought it takes a village.
Yeah,
so if it takes a village, the village is only for children who you can exploit.
Because they don't have nobody to care about them. People who mothers and stuff on drugs. Kids that's out here, they'll do anything for some money. And then you're a church and you're a pastor or whatever. I'll give you some money, and I'll keep $200 in your pocket. Now this church is getting money from the city, so they paying the boy going to school, whatever. He getting money in his pocket and to let you touch on them, or let you do this. This is what happens. I'm serious. I know a couple of girls that used to be in my high school that were older than me, and this is what they do. So, why is that criteria for the youth in order to have these youth programs, in order to have to be able to join these youth organizations and things to be employable? This is the trauma, the background that they have to come from. Why? Because if they're in a 2-parent home and they have loving parents, if you try to touch on them and they go tell their father, maybe their father gonna break your neck. So what is it?
Right.
This is it, guys. I mean,
Like
y'all,
that's it. I get that's
yeah.
it's it. Like you got to be kind of crazy to not see it.
Because these allegations, remember, Zoe, the allegations came out with Father Flagrant. That's with those boys.
Uh, yeah, I should
Okay.
see how. Yeah, Father
It
Flake.
was, it
That's a
was the,
whole nother thing.
yeah, well, I'm just saying it was the allegations that came out.
Uh-huh.
That, yeah, it was some allegations that came out, and I ain't heard nothing else about it. We're going to have to look into that. I ain't heard nothing else about
Well,
it.
what happened was one of the guys I think was like, I don't know if he was on drugs or they probably
See?
split it,
See?
but basically tried to say if you give me this, I won't speak about it. So they
Yeah.
tried to say like he was extorting him or whatever. You understand? But that's not the first time. You know, it's been a few times.
Yeah, because think about it. These kids come and they have a drug habit, and then and you are giving them money to go get drugs, right? And you let them
Right.
touch on you, do things like you said, basketball diaries. This,
Basketball Diary. Oh, you
yeah,
saw that? Okay.
yeah, I like that movie. Good movie, yeah.
Yeah. So
So yeah.
so when I see that, that's what I think. I'm like, man, this is some weird stuff.
Because why do our kids, or the kids, American kids, just Chicagoans, have to be trauma? They have to come from, if you've been in jail, and it's always ages from 16 to 24. And if you've been, it's never if you just a healthy, normal kid, come from a healthy family, great kid. You need help because you want to just be an entrepreneur. We don't have programs for just kids like that. It always got to be kids that's going through trauma.
Yep.
And then they usually become victims of these predators. Because we
Yeah.
got like CPS. What we talking about? How many cases? What is it? 2,200 and certain cases with CPS are those type of cases.
Yeah. 229.
29. Yeah, child. I don't know. S because I don't really want to say it on how I guess. I don't know because I realize what I'm saying. And so on here, so I want to but
Right.
get your channel a strike. But yeah, CPS had those cases. And that's why we were asking for a forensic audit. And when you see us down protesting CTU and we call them the P word and groomers and things like that, yeah, because we
Yeah.
know what we're talking about. We know those cases that y'all just settling under the rug. We want to know about those cases.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Like
teachers,
and they
yeah,
need to because
yeah.
and all they do is move them around.
Move the teachers around, put them around. That's like they do in the churches. Just keep letting the pastors go to different churches, moving around. That's how they do the teachers, the principals, the janitors, the workers, and CPS. That's why you never hear about those. You never hear. We had 229 cases. How come we don't hear about that in the media? How come the news don't cover that? How come the news cover the teachers that are accused of doing those things? And then the teachers who do report it, they're retaliated against.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
So yeah, guys.
Yeah. Like this is just how messed up it is. But you know what was really messed up today? So the banning of the so Marty Quinn came up with Hemp, right? And so I mean he wanted to be a ban because some of them, which I understand, like some stuff that's sold at like these ghetto gas stations and stuff, are messing up our the K2 and all that stuff. So he basically wanted to restrict ban the sale of certain hemp derived products, especially those containing THC, And a lot of people were like, no, they were like, we can make sure that we have everything that's tested. Another guy was like, we need them for, I don't do THC, so we need that, so it basically was to ban the sale of derived THC products in Chicago outside of licensed cannabis dispensaries. This means stores selling hemp edibles, vapes, drinks, and similar items could face up to $5,000 if they continue selling them illegally, right?
Mhm.
So he's saying that they would have to have a cannabis license or whatever. But some do not have THC products, or it's just hemp. It's just hemp related stuff, and it's for the good, So there was a guy there today, and I wanted to. He was for. No, I mean he didn't want them to ban it, and I just wanted to make sure. Hold on, because this was I just want to show people like this is why this man has to get out of office, and I just want to give the reason why. One of the other reasons why we need new. We just honestly just need new everything. Like none of these
Mhm.
people need to really be in here, but hold on. All right, here.
Conduct of the meeting is not permitted. Disruptive or distracting actions, such as the stomping of feet, waving of arms,
Do you hear this?
any item,
Yeah, I can hear it.
whistling,
No. I'm just saying.
utterances are not permitted when in the judgment.
What the man said about no shaking, no waving arms, no doing nothing.
No,
Like, how
I
do
ain't
you
hear.
tell somebody they can't wave their arm? Like, hold
No,
on.
I didn't hear that. I didn't
Yeah,
hear that.
I just want y'all to hear these rules, please. I
Okay,
just want y'all to hear these rules before because they're crazy.
this the
And I
rules
know
they had in city council today.
it's there all the time, but we don't never pay attention to it. But you gotta listen to these rules.
Okay.
May lead to a breach of the peace or disrupt the orderly conduct of the meeting is not permitted.
Disruptive or distracting actions, such as the stomping of feet, waving of arms, throwing any item, whistling, booing, shouting, or other loud utterances, are not permitted when in the judgment of the meeting's chair or the sergeant at arms. Such actions are disrupting or impeding the orderly conduct of the meeting. Any item that poses a potential safety hazards, as determined by the sergeant at arms, is prohibited in the gallery. Such items include, but are not limited to, 1. Any pointed objects, including knives of any kind. 2. Banners, flyers, or other forms of signage. 3. Food and beverages, including in glass or metal canisters. 4. Backpacks, large bags, and sealed packages. Clear bags, not tinted in color, that do not exceed 12 inches by 6 inches by 12, are permitted and subject to search. And 5. Firearms, ammunition, fireworks, laser pointers, stun guns, tasers, mace pepper spray, and toy weapons. Cell phones and other small handheld recording devices must be placed in silent mode, can only be used while seated, and can only be used in a manner that does not interfere with the ability other individuals to view or hear the proceedings. Individuals or groups failing to adhere to these rules will be subject to removal from the remainder of the meeting by the Sergeant at Arms. City of Chicago City Council Rules of Conduct for Public Meetings, 2023 to 2027. Pursuant to Rule 58 of the Chicago City Council Rules of Order and Procedure, the Sergeant at Arms sets forth the following rules of conduct for members of the public. These rules shall be in effect at all times that a viewing gallery or room is open for a meeting of the City Council or any of its committees. All individuals and their belongings are subject to search at entry or upon request. Individuals must remain seated at all times except 1. when entering or exiting the gallery. 2. When providing public comment during the portion of a meeting set aside for that purpose. Or 3. When asked to rise and be acknowledged by a member of the City Council. Profane, threatening, harassing, abusive, or defamatory behavior or speech, which in the judgment of the meeting's chair or the sergeant-at-arms may lead to a breach of the peace or disrupt the orderly conduct of the meeting, is not permitted. Disruptive or distracting actions, such as the stomping of feet, waving of arms, throwing any item, whistling, booing, shouting, or
This dude,
That's crazy.
like John P. Stamen said, ICE protesters do that 24/7 days a week,
24/7.
every day of the week, and even going churches, and they trying to justify it. They doing mental gymnastics all on CNN, all on TV, all the news media outlets doing mental gymnastics with us trying to justify it. And then you're going to tell us in a meeting that we pay for, no stuff in your hands, no whistling, no booing, no profanity. Y'all lost your mind. These people are actively impeding ICE officers in the way, and they call that peaceful protest. What if we want to protest inside the chambers? What if we want to go inside the chambers because we don't like Brandon Johnson and we want to protest? Y'all gonna tell us we're peacefully protesting. We're talking like the ICE officers don't. I mean, ICE protesters. Y'all say they doing, so we can't do that as Americans. Please, these are that's why the Democratic Party is a communist organization. They are okay with everything that they say until it's the opposite against them. Well, they'll let you ride till the wheels fall off as long as it's for them. They'll let you shoot ICE officers as long as it's for them. Now, as soon as you do the same thing, but just you have a difference of opinion with them or a different ideology with them, they're gonna set you down. None of that matters. The Constitution don't even matter when you go against them. This is why I keep saying, guys, but they're so comfortable with this because we've been asleep at the wheel. We allowed this. We keep telling you, I keep seeing people say this under our posts, under everything. Well, voting don't matter. Our vote don't matter. It's rigged anyway. It don't matter if we vote. So I don't even vote because it don't matter. Keep having that defeated mindset. Keep thinking that they have you thinking that way, because if you think that way, then you won't even go vote. If you have a defeated mindset, you won't even try. So they defeat you before you even try. That's it. I can defeat you in your mind. Once I defeat you up here to say it don't even matter, my vote don't matter. Once they say that get you there and you don't go vote, they have already defeat you. Meanwhile, you have Somalians in Minnesota who understand how valuable their vote is, who's threatening the Democratic Party, saying, if you don't speak up for us, if you don't take up for us, if you all side or let them come in and investigate us, we're going to hold our vote from you and you won't get in office.
Yeah.
So you got foreigners who understand the power of their vote in your country, who telling your elected officials, if you don't let us continue with the fraud and let us continue to take the taxpayer money, if you speak out about that, we're going to make sure your butt get up out of office and you don't get back in office. Meanwhile, so they know the importance of them coming together, because you got about 70 to 80,000 Somalians in Minnesota who know the power of their vote. And you got a bunch of Black Americans in Chicago, because we are the ones who vote blue no matter who give away our vote, or who don't vote at all. And they got you thinking it don't matter at all. That's how messed up. This is how messed up it is. This is where we at, guys. Think about it. Let's just say this, guys. If it's 30 million people in Chicago, let's say that. And we got to make it too big to rig because they can only cheat so much. So if you got half of those people who pull down a Republican ballot, because they know that, pull down and vote a Republican, and you only
Right.
have so many people here, you can only cheat so much before it become obvious.
Right.
So now we have to make it too big to rig, like Trump had to do. They knew they was gonna cheat. You see what just happened in Georgia, how they found those votes. So they knew they was gonna cheat, but when you make it too big to rig, you gotta make it too big for them to rig. So that means only 30% of people that came out, or 34, voted in the Brandon Johnson election. Imagine if we had 80% of Chicagoans voted and they voted Republican.
Right.
Too big to rig.
Too big to rig.
Where you gonna pull those other votes from when you only have a certain amount of people here? Where you pulling those votes from? Then it's gonna be obvious you cheated. So we gotta get that. They have us defeated, and you got these dumb celebrities and these dumb like Corey Holcomb telling that I don't even vote. And then you gonna reprimand somebody who value their vote, who vote, who telling you, yeah, I vote because I value my vote. Because I'm not ignorant like you. You have somebody like that. Well, I don't vote because our vote don't matter. And you got people pushing this garbage to our people. And that's why you got a bunch of us who don't vote, but complain about everything. And when we do vote, we vote blue no matter who, when we see and understand that they don't do nothing for us. So you don't get nothing for your vote because they know that they don't have to. They already defeated you in your mind. And then if they don't defeat you, they know you're just going to blindly vote for them anyway. This is how messed up. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
Never. And I understand it. Because I voted blue no matter who. I blindly did that. So I understand it to a certain degree. I understand it, but what I don't understand is when I was given the facts and when I started looking at things for myself to say, okay, if I'm a Christian, I don't believe in these things. So let me at least look a little bit and see, because I don't believe in this stuff. So I can understand because I did it, but when the facts are presented to you, or when you start seeing things that you know don't align with what you believe in things, you're not going to even take the initiative to go and see, to get a little information.
A little information.
So I can only go so far with you to sympathize with you. I can understand that because we were there. I voted blue no matter who my whole life without knowing policies and everything. But at some point, I had to take accountability for what has happened to my community, what I have allowed to happen to my city, and America as a whole. We have to take accountability for that.
Right. Nah, for real.
Yeah.
Like, it got to give. But let's get back to this real quick.
Okay.
So today, the Chicago City Council had passed the hemp ban. Vote 32-16. It was led by Alderman Marty Quinn. It bans most intoxicating hemp-derived THC products, gummies, vapes, edibles, sold outside licensed cannabis dispensaries, 21 plus only, effective immediately. Full ban takes effect April 1st. Exemptions: hemp drinks, topicals, pet products with limits. Products that were unregulated, easily sold to minors, exploiting a federal loophole. The pushback was there was a small business there today, and he basically was asking them to rethink it because he has created jobs, a whole bunch of stuff. So I wanted us to listen to this guy. It was a girl, trans. It was a trans girl too. She was there as well, and she worked for the company as well. And she basically said, like, she's been living on the street. She finally found a job, and you guys are basically gonna run them out of business. You know, and there's really no jobs out here. Like it was just to hear the economic issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know, was a little bit concerning to me.
And the job
So
should not, and our job market should not rely on this, hemp business. Okay, let me.
um, okay, this is the maybe. So this is the person who also works at the.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Esme. I'm proud to be part of Civic Cafe, where I've dedicated the last 2 years promoting the benefits of hemp in our city. We provide a safe space for adults to explore hemp's benefits, helping our customers and community thrive. When I joined Chitiva, I was homeless, sleeping on couches, and prior to that, I was sleeping in a tent in a forest preserve. I was excited to be part of an innovative and sustainable business, not only to serve my community, but to help rebuild my life. However, recent developments have put all of that at risk. Alderman Marty Quinn has introduced a new ordinance that, rather than genuinely regulating, seems to be a power grab. Many remember Mr. Quinn's history dating back to the Mike Madigan days, a time filled with questionable decisions. This ordinance is presented as a means of safety, but feels like a way to control our industry. The heavy restrictions threaten to stifle local businesses like ours and local livelihoods like mine, prioritizing power over support. Instead of fostering responsible practices, it creates fear and barriers. I urge all of you to stand with me, Citiva Cafe, and the rest of our industry. Let's push back against the misuse of power and advocate for fair regulations that truly support our community and entrepreneurs. Together, we can ensure our voices are heard and our stories are acknowledged. We deserve an industry that thrives, not one stifled by political maneuvering. Thank you for your time and support.
Thank you.
Alright, so that was one of the workers. Now this was another person who I'm trying to find. There was a person who there's a guy. Okay, maybe I. Okay, you got this guy. Oh yeah, him right here. So this guy. Now she was in opposition and of the Ham, the band, but I understood what they were saying. And this is somebody who agrees with the hip ban. So,
Okay.
and then I'm going to give you, and he may be a owner of a business, a THC cannabis place or whatever. And
So
then
he
I'm going to give you
competing.
the owner of where she works at. The owner was there too to explain why he's not for it. And I just want you to hear what he has to say, because this is how I know that no one knows how to run anything down here.
Okay.
Selfish.
Mayor Johnson, Alderman Quinn, and alders of the City Council. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Glenn McAlfresh, and I'm the CEO of Plift, a Chicago-based hemp beverage company, a co-founder of Perfectly Dosed, the leading hemp beverage ingredient company also based in Chicago, and a board member of the Hemp Beverage Alliance, and perhaps most importantly, I'm also a proud resident of the 50th Ward. I'm here today to show my strong support for Alderman Quinn's hemp regulation ordinance. I'm deeply grateful to Alderman Quinn and the City Council for creating a pathway for responsible hemp beverage businesses like Plift and Perfectly Dosed to operate in Chicago while putting an end to the unsafe hemp products found across the city. This ordinance is a step forward for Chicago. I'm happy to be a resource for anyone on the council, and I deeply appreciate the opportunity to testify today. I respectfully encourage all of you to vote yes on Alderman Quinn's ordinance today. Thank you, Alderman Quinn. Thank you to the council, and thank you, Mayor Johnson.
So wait a
Thank you very
minute.
much for your
Was so he's the owner of
A hemp
dispensary?
beverage company. A hemp beverage company that probably is doing really good. I gotta look it up. I gotta get the
Uh-huh. So he's
but he's not a business. He's probably corporate. He's probably making good money with it. And his competition is this
okay.
little small business over here.
That's what I was getting ready to say. So his competition, that's his competition. Those
Yes,
little
I want you to listen to this
pop-up little
competition.
business.
Yeah,
But he's
so,
saying it because they not a dispensary. They are not under
well,
that.
they're a little cafe.
Yeah.
And
They're
he's a
not
hemp beverage, he got his stuff, he got his stuff packaged product,
right.
and yeah, so this guy is the small business owner of where the person earlier discussed why, said she got the job and all that stuff. So, all right, hold on.
Get exactly what your black age is.
Just a second. All right, very well.
Oh, are we? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, please.
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
And members of the council. My name is Charles Wu, and I'm here on behalf of the Illinois Hemp Business Association. I'm also here as the owner of Shitiva. We operate 2 retail hemp storefronts in Wicker Park and the South Loop. More importantly, I'm here on behalf of my 2 employees who are here with me, Mariah and Esme. You heard Esme, she's a little passionate. And right now, the economy is tough. And after hearing the story of Esme, what you didn't hear is she was complaining to me this morning that she's now in a higher tax bracket. And that's a good thing. But all this will disappear if the Quinn Ordinance passes as written. Now about us. We do not allow people under 21 onto our premises. We card and ID scan every customer. Our products are tested. We pay taxes. And many of you have met me because I've been advocating to ask to pay more taxes to the city because we are not a bad actor. We've been asking to be regulated, even on par with the cannabis industry. And that's what's important because the Quinn Ordinance is not about safety. This ordinance is about economic favoritism. I am not part of the alcohol industry, nor as I am influential as the Restaurant Association. I am just a small business owner with a standalone hemp business that isn't given a seat at the table. With this ordinance passing, I have no way to comply, and I will have to shut down. I will have to lay off Esme and Mariah and our other employees, and they will be out trying to fend for themselves. Additionally, this favoritism creates issues that exposes the city to unnecessary litigation. If intoxication is the concern, that concern does not disappear in a beverage. If safety is the concern, banning storefronts that are 21 and only that card and rigorously test their products makes no sense. And if fairness is the concern, we should all be given a seat at the table. Alternative ordinance language has already been circulated, language that maintains strict standards on testing, age limits, labeling, enforcement, and licensing, while also ensuring parity across industries. I am not here asking for special treatment. I'm asking for clear rules, consistent enforcement, and a path to compliance that applies equally to everyone. Please consider the proposed regulatory alternatives and work with operators like me to build a framework that protects consumers, supports small businesses, does not pick winners and losers, and keeps the market transparent and accountable. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
So,
I feel like this. First of all, I have a problem with when we have more foreigners that's owning businesses, more business than Americans, especially in a large city like Chicago and things like that. I got a problem with that. I have a problem with when small businesses should look like, to me, when small business should look like entrepreneurs, like American citizens, Chicago citizens having businesses, legit business, not where everybody can get high, drunk, on substance, can be, we already have that. We already have an issue with drugs and things. People are addicted to things. Why can we promote normalcy and promote businesses that you don't have to get people hooked on stuff. You know that
Well, I mean, I get that. I get that part, but the issue is here. The issue is this man said he was willing to pay more taxes.
Yeah, I heard that. Mm-hmm.
He said he was willing to pay more taxes.
And he said to be regulated, you know.
And to be regulated.
Mm-hmm.
We are in a 1.5. It's more than 1.2. We're in a $1.5 billion deficit. When I was first doing my uncomfortable truth lifestyle, and I told you I wanted to support Uncle Nearest, and I said I'm willing to buy Uncle Nearest so I can have it there because I wanted a Black-owned liquor, right? And they didn't want to even support me with me buying it. I'm buying your liquor. I'm not asking y'all to give me enough liquor. I'm buying it because at the end of the day, I want to support Black-owned brand. It's something that is like Jack Daniels. It's just Uncle Nearest, right? They got the whole story. So they refused. They went, I don't want to. Okay, cool. You don't want to do it now. She don't barely have the company. They done took the company away from her. You see what I'm saying? But saying that to say that I'm willing to brand you, I'm willing to do this, I'm willing to do whatever because I really want that brand. I really like it or whatever. This man is basically saying he got workers, he got a small business. He's willing to risk paying more taxes and regulation. They've already do 21 and over, already scanning 21 and over. I'm willing to take this. I'm willing to say, screw that. Nah, we don't want that. Nah, we don't want that. Knowing that we don't have our businesses we're losing businesses. Anybody that's willing to pay more, that's just crazy to me when everything else has been regulated. Like, if you look up everything that he has going on, and my thing is, he may be foreign, but he may be born here.
Yeah.
This may be a Chinese American-owned person, Asian-owned person.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. I'm going back. I'm not saying
Yeah,
just
but if a
about
person's willing to pay more taxes and not connected, now because if he was connected like that other person probably was, and I don't know, but he's in the 50th ward, he's in Deborah Silverstein's ward. He probably gives money to the campaigns, does all these things, so they're going to make sure that he has all the regulations or can bypass everything. But here comes this guy who's willing. He's part of the Illinois Hemp, whatever that is. He said he's part of the foundation or whatever. I think Tyrone and them are in that group as well. So he's in that already. He's the people know who he is, but they probably don't like him, so they want to retaliate against him.
So basically, what you're saying is they're keeping him from getting the regulated anything, so that they can, because they're in bed or they have a people like they have their people that they're messing with and making sure they are like guy who just left, that other guy before him.
Yeah,
so you're
and that's his competition.
That's his competition.
That's his competition. This is his competition.
Yeah, so they're gonna make sure they hold him down. Don't make sure he can't get regulated, can't get the things that he needs because of the fact that it's nepotism, like we always say. It's people. Your friends. You're gonna make sure your friends or your people who donate to you, they have. But this one now, my thing is, if that's the business, you can't this has got to be the business. You can't do favoritism. If we're gonna have this, it got to be fair. So I understand that, fair all around. But my thing
But you
is,
know, hemp is, you know, is difference between hemp and
and weed,
THC
yeah,
and
weed, yeah.
CBD. So, you know, so that's the thing too. Like,
But they're not even selling. They're not even selling. They just selling the products that have you. They not selling the weed products and stuff that have the they don't
well,
sell that, right?
THC or things like that, but it's only it's going to start being regulated. I mean, it's not going to be regulated. I mean, basically, you can't have anything that has any type of THC or anything like that.
Right,
they're gonna ban it, right?
right. Because it's not. So in other words, the THC, the weed places are saying they should not be able to have that because, like you said, it's their competition, right?
Right.
So that's what they're saying.
But if a person is willing to pay more taxes because they're having hemp products, they don't have THC.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they may not have THC, but they're banning hemp products from places unless you have certain
Licenses in other words, a dispensary should be able to sell all of that
Yeah,
and
but he's
not
not a
these.
dispensary, he's like a cafe.
I know, but
And he
not these
sells like
local.
hemp beverages. He
Yeah, but not
sells,
these local places. So they basically want everybody to go to these dispensaries
let me
to get
look up
all of
Shy
that,
Tea.
right?
Yeah,
To get
let me
all
look
that.
up Shy Tea.
Okay.
Shitiva South Loop. So Shitiva South Loop. Oh, okay. So it says, okay, you gotta be 18 to pull up. I mean 21, sorry. So Shitiva is definitely somebody's competition, but I'm trying to. At Shitiva, we're not just raising the bar; we're launching it into a whole new dimension. We're here to shatter stereotypes and redefine what it means to unwind in the modern world by seamlessly blending cannabis culture with everyday comfort. We've created a judgment-free galaxy where people can gather, vibe, and feel at home. Forget smoky basements and noisy bars. Shativa is your alternative universe for stress relief, social connection, and elevated experiences. Here, community meet cannabis and cafe culture collides with creativity. Every visit is a liftoff into better vibes and brighter conversations. Join the mission, rewrite the rules. Because at Shativa, we're not just serving cannabis, we're curating a new cosmic standard for social relaxation. Stay space, stay lifted. You found your favorite orbit.
So who is this? Because they selling cannabis. Who is this you talking about?
So
Is
they're
this
creating a vibrancy for THC lovers. So I'm trying to figure out what.
right? Because that's what I'm saying. So because that's yeah.
But maybe
Yeah,
they sell hemp products too,
yeah, so that's what I was saying.
and they
Do those
don't want to stop selling hemp products.
I would have
Even
to.
though I don't know why, because if they sell, maybe they sell hemp, but they have THC in it. Yeah, I don't know.
I would
I
have
don't
to
know.
see. Yeah. We have to look into that. We have to look into what these companies and what they're saying with
Yeah,
that.
because I'm trying to figure out how he go out of business.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's my whole thing.
But
Like, okay,
but my thing was he was willing to pay more taxes, and it's a business.
but
And
with that, like you were saying, we already know these people when they have people in their pockets and they are in bed with people, they don't care about none of that. It's just who willing to do business with them to get them back their money, like you said, through the campaign and all that. We know how that goes. So I think it's more so they, you know, I pay you, we're gonna make sure we in bid together to make sure my competition, it's not, you know, a competition to me. So the more money I make, the more money I put in your pocket, your campaign. You know how they do. I just think this is what that, you know, what it's about. Because we see we can't, it's certain people, we can't get businesses, but certain other people can.
Right.
But we have, like you said, we paying taxes, big taxes. So why? But I just think, yeah, I think that with that, when it come down to this stuff, because this stuff, you know, they make some big money with these, you know, products. So I think, yeah, that's on another level that we got to look into.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cause
because it's some big money being made with this. So
yeah.
especially with the dispensaries and yeah. So I think, yeah, that's something we will have to, and then maybe you know, we will have to talk to these people and see why, you know, what's going on. I would like to talk to some of these people to see the
Yeah.
issues. You know what I'm saying? The real issues they're having, what they're talking about. You know.
Yeah. Cause cause my thing is, do they have CPD? I
Yeah.
didn't know what
Yeah.
this beverage person was.
Yeah. And then I can see if you're not regulated, you're supposed to be a cafe and you're not a dispensary, you shouldn't be able to sell weed. You know. So
Well, that I do understand, but also if it's, let me see where this guy. Yeah, he's skipping. Let's see real quick. I just want to hear what he had to say. I mean, I
okay.
want to hear the name of his business real quick.
Okay.
Mayor Johnson, Alderman Quinn, and alders of the City Council. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Glenn McAlfresh, and I'm the CEO of Plift, a Chicago-based hemp beverage company, a co-founder of Perfectly Dosed, the leading hemp beverage ingredient company also based in Chicago, and a board member of the Hemp Beverage Alliance, and perhaps most importantly, I'm also a proud resident of the 50th Ward. I'm here today to show my
He
strong
got
support for
popped.
Alderman Quinn's hemp regulation ordinance. I'm deeply grateful to Alderman Quinn and the City Council for creating a pathway for responsible hemp beverage businesses like Plift.
All right, Clift and Perfectly Dosed. Clift and Perfectly Dosed. So that's how I was trying to figure out
See, let me get my chart.
what they were talking about. So Perfectly Dosed is a whole nother thing. That's the Delta. Yeah, this is just, so yeah, I get it. So this is a Perfectly Dosed, the leader in hemp emulsion ingredients. From small batch craft operations to large scale national brands, we have high quality, cost effective ingredients suited for unique needs. So they have products too. They're in Kimball. They have 150 brands powered, 1,000 plus unique brands. They have 5 million consumer reach, 750 million perfect doses. So yeah, so they got a whole, and they stuff is tested as well. So yeah, so it's just it's a competition thing at this point, you know, and it's just gonna be it has to just be some it's no regulation. Everything's a monopoly. Everything is a monopoly out here. And whoever can bring the money in first. So that's basically it. That's basically gonna be it. But they passed both of those.
Oh,
And
they
then
passed it?
I mean, they passed it today, yeah. So the regulation, I mean, and so it bans most intoxicating hemp derived THC products, gummies, vapes, edibles sold outside licensed cannabis. So basically, if you're not licensed,
Right. Okay. So if you're not licensed, you can't have nothing that's that's
yeah,
basically
it has
weed.
THC basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So now
The
these places.
exemptions though are hemp drinks, topicals, pet products. So if you have like if you got a pain or something, if you get some type of pain medicine or something, it has THC in it and it's hemp, you okay with that? And it says hemp drinks,
That's what I'm saying. So that means you
but
can
you
put.
can't have gummies, vapes, edibles sold outside licensed cannabis
So you can have
products.
drinks.
Yeah, just yeah, but I guess not alcohol and with THC. So I guess if the hemp is THC free, then yeah, it says exemptions. Hemp drinks, topicals, pet products, but 21, you have to be 21 and only, effective immediately. So you can't
What?
have a hemp drink unless you're 21.
But they said they gotta. So wait a minute. You can have a hemp drink, but you have to. So in other words, gummies and all that you can't have. If you put it in a drink, you can have it, but you got to be 21 in order to get it.
Well, not THC. So the
The drink.
exemptions is a hemp drink. Hemp drink, well, yeah, hemp drinks, topicals, pet products with limits. I guess you could get THC hemp drinks. It doesn't make any sense. Like a
Yeah,
hemp
that's what
drink,
I'm saying.
because a hemp, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. But they say the pushback is to hurt small businesses. It could push sales to the black market, which I mean, the black market is gonna forever be there, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then it says Mayor Brandon Johnson prefers regulation over bans and may veto. So it says Chicago moved fast to shut down hemp THC sales at the city level, with Quinn driving the effort while the mayor and business owners are pushing back. So I don't know, but I mean, it's other things. The THC, I mean, the hemp thing is kind of crazy, but I've never been into hemp, so I don't really know the effects or anything like this. But I want to end with one. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can be on here forever, but I want to end. But I want to go to this real quick. Gardner put this resolution in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've been talking about it for a minute. After Charlie Kirk, when they shot Charlie Kirk, then the lady who got shot and killed, the political person, I think it was in Minnesota, was that in Waltz,
Yeah.
Tim Waltz? Yeah. And then they were just saying how it like emotions are high and stuff like that. So basically, the resolution would prohibit, incidents of harassment, intimidation, and violence directed toward individuals based on their political or religious views have become increasingly common across the nation, threatening not only the safety and dignity of those targeted and their families, but also the principles of tolerance and mutual respect on which our city and country are built, right? It says
Mhm.
recent events, including the assassination of Republican and conservative influence Charlie Kirk and Democrat and former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman, as well as acts of violence and intimidation against individuals of other political and religious persuasions, have underscored the urgent need to reaffirm the disagreement must never escalate into harm. And condemning such violence is not an endorsement of any particular viewpoint, but to rather a defense of the right of all people, regardless of ideology or creed, to live and speak freely without fear and harm. And that be it resolved that Mayor Brandon Johnson and the members of the City Council of the City of Chicago do hereby condemn the assassination of Republican and conservative influencer Charlie Kirk and Democrat and former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman, as well as all acts of violence, intimidation, or harassment targeting individuals on the basis of their political or religious beliefs, regardless of where they fall on the ideological spectrum, and be it further resolved that Mayor Brandon Johnson and City Council reaffirm the commitment to upholding the constitutional rights of free speech, peaceful assembly, and religious liberty for all Chicagoans. Be it further resolved, the Mayor Brandon Johnson and City Council encourage constructive dialogue and peaceful engagement across differences, recognizing that robust debate is a cornerstone of democracy, but violence has no place in civic life. And be it further resolved that a suitable copy of this resolution be prepared and presented to community and civic organizations throughout the city to reaffirm Chicago's commitment to protecting its residents from violence, intimidation. Right?
Great ordinance.
Great, right? Great.
Great.
All right. So I just,
Mhm.
it was great, right? All right.
I
So I
thought
just
that's
want
what they
y'all.
wanted. I thought that's
Yeah,
what they
that's
was
what
about.
me too. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But according to uh, this is National Holocaust Day. Oh, this is a good one too. They gave, now this is another thing, y'all, that this is another reason why we got to get all these people out. So you see all these yays, right? So this is the execution of tax increment financing, TIF, guys, redevelopment agreement with 30 North LaSalle MF Redevelopment LLC and Downtown Chicago Neighborhood Council, NFP, for property located at 30 North LaSalle Street. So downtown, they're about to put all this TIF money, just like they did Lincoln Yards, into 30 North LaSalle to make affordable housing and all that stuff downtown. TIF increment finance money. And look at everybody gonna say, everybody says yes. Every alderman says yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just want to let y'all know that. I'm gonna talk about that another day. But I just want y'all to see
Mm-hmm.
this is, they don't even say no. They just,
Because that's the one, LaSalle is that place that when we went to that meeting that you called that man out. It was LaSalle. Remember you called that?
yeah,
You said, that's the one.
right.
Mm.
Oh yeah, O'Shea did good today too. This is about the
So what they do with
curfew.
what they say with that one gardener?
I'm about to do it now. I'm gonna show it to
Oh,
y'all now.
okay.
I gotta go through this. That curfew thing is crazy too. They can't get that curfew there. But today was good. Okay, here it goes.
And we're putting them in a police station and we're making their parents come and get, what about unlawful?
The chair has decided to hold this item. Is there any other business in this committee, Chairman?
Yes, Mr. President. Item number 3 is ordinance 19984, amending Municipal Code Chapter 610 by modifying Section 610 and 620 to include anti-Semitism and discrimination in the Chicago City Council Declaration of General Rights. If no one wishes to speak, I move passage by the first most favorable roll call of the Committee on Finance and associated motion to reconsider.
Seeing no hands, hearing no objections, so ordered.
Item number 4 is resolution. Very ironic expression, and it through Committee on Finance, and associated unsuccessful motion to reconsider.
Chair recognizes Alderman Gardner.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. I first introduced this resolution in September of 2025, roughly 4 months ago. I'm happy to see that it was presented, passed through committee. For those who didn't get a chance to see it or read it, I will briefly go over some of it. And it basically says that we, as Chicagoans, we celebrate our diversity, our freedom of expression. We celebrate the expression of political or religious beliefs that is protected by our Constitution, that we forbid harassment, intimidation, and violence directed towards individuals based on their political or religious views, which have become, unfortunately, increasingly common across our nation. It's very ironic that this resolution is finally in front of the full city council. In this resolution, I talked about how important it is, the urgent need to reaffirm that this agreement must never escalate into harm, that condemning such violence is not an endorsement of any particular viewpoint, but rather a defense of the right of all people, regardless of ideology or creed, to live and speak freely without fear of harm. We condemn the assassinations of Republican and conservative influencer Charlie Kirk and Democrat and former Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman, as well as all acts of violence, intimidation, or harassment targeting individuals on the basis of their political or religious beliefs. That is upholding our constitutional rights of free speech, peaceful assembly, and religious liberty for all Chicagoans. This resolution does not limit your First Amendment right. It uplifts it, which includes the right to worship whichever God you so choose without fear of harassment and intimidation. Ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, what we witnessed on Sunday in Minnesota was a total disgrace at City's Church. And it was a violation of one's rights as Americans, as Christians, or any other religion you so choose to follow. We can agree or disagree on the immigration problem in this country, but what we cannot and will not tolerate are people trespassing in the houses of worship and berating worshipers, including women, children, elderly. In the reasoning, the pastor has something to do with ICE. That was the reasoning. But instead of organizing a protest on any of the other 6 days of the week, we decided to do it on the day that they worship, during the hour that they are worshiping. And we don't wait outside the building, we go inside the building and be as disrespectful as possible and get in the faces of these people as they're worshiping their God. One of these renegades goes by the name of DeWolk Farmer, or William Kelly, felt it upon himself to call these God-fearing churchgoers white supremacists. Even Don Lemon got into the act. And then doubled down on his lawless act by stating he was being singled out because of his race and sexuality. The ironic part about all this, many of these worshipers actually helping these migrants or immigrants or people who are here illegally. In Proverbs 28 states, "Those who forsake instruction praise the wicked, but those who heed it resist them. Evildoers do not understand what is right, but those who seek the Lord understand it fully." Anyone who truly believes in a higher power knows that what those agitators did was wrong. It was evil. I ask you to join me in condemning that type of harassment, regardless of your political stance. And as leaders within this city, take a stand. Take a stand against these type of acts. It's okay to come out and talk about it, even if your political party says, don't talk about it. And if you stand against these acts of violence and harassment, please join me. Please join me as a co-sponsor. Don't be afraid. Be as bold as a lion. Come out and talk about this and say, that's wrong what they're doing. That's evil what they're doing. You come in and you get in the faces of women, you get in the faces of children, and you think somehow you're fighting for justice? You're not. You're not. It's wrong. I ask you to join me in condemning this behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Alderman LaSpada.
If I may just say, because I'm trying to hear this resolution out. But I am, as long as we're talking about it, I do remember going to church and hearing about someone who went into the temple and knocked over tables to protest the invasion of capitalism and the corruption of that temple. I remember hearing that story. I hear it frequently. And I do know that there are churchgoers who are also white supremacists. And so I just want to acknowledge the truth that exists and the haziness in all of this. I cannot listen and ignore the cognitive dissonance that I'm experiencing hearing these points. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Alderman Hopkins.
They want this. These people, look what this man just said. These people want this. That's why we got to lock these people
I
up.
apologize. I will pose this question to you. Similar to my colleague Alderman Laspada, I'm a little confused on the sponsor and what does a positive vote for this condemn? Because are we condemning discrimination? Are we condemning attacks on immigrants? Are we condemning attacks on people based on the color of their skin? Or are we condemning First Amendment speech for people speaking out against white supremacy? So I know in committee, I supported this because I thought that it read for what it was on its face, but in hearing the chief sponsor clarify and speak on his convictions, it sounds like a vote for this is a vote for condemning people standing up against fascism in their city while their neighbors are being pulled out of the street, or fighting against ICE officers who have been repeatedly violating First Amendment rights and due process, which is what we've seen upheld in the courts. So maybe some clarification from the sponsor, if the chair would allow, would help me to determine whether this is a resolution that reads on its face, or if the sponsor is imbuing some additional context to this that maybe is not in alignment with what I know the constituents of the 49th Ward are fighting for.
Very well. Just a moment. The chair recognizes Alderman Lopez.
Thank you, Mr. President, and now good afternoon, members of the City Council. I rise in support of the resolution written and presented and passed out of committee because, as the resolution states clearly, that we are condemning assassinations of Republicans and Democrats. We've seen lawmakers gunned down in their homes with their spouses. Our neighbor in Indiana, just this weekend, had a Superior Court judge and his wife shot in their homes. This is what we all should be concerned about, because as people express their constitutionally guaranteed rights, their opinions on what we do, we have folks here who come here every meeting to express their rights. That is an enshrined doctrine in our Constitution that is worth absolutely defending, which this resolution specifically mentions. But when you take words and turn vitriol into murder, into anger that is designed to intimidate and harm elected officials, I don't care who you are in this room, that is never acceptable. 100%. Whether you are to the left of me, to the right of me, above me, or below me, none of you should feel threatened simply because you think differently from individuals expressing their views. That is what this resolution calls on all of us to reaffirm, to commit to. I'm reading and taking at face value all I can do, everything that's presented to us, to answer my colleague behind me's question. What you infer from it, I'm looking directly at what it is saying that we are resolving ourselves to do. It says that we are condemning political assassinations, that we are upholding constitutional rights of free speech, peaceful assembly, and religious liberty. Show me by way of hands who's against that. That is what we are here for, that we are continuing constructive dialogue and peaceful engagement, and that we should share this with others throughout our city. That is what this resolution, as presented before this body from this committee, says. And in that spirit, that is what I think all of us who co-sponsored it with our colleague from the 45th Ward believe in, and what all of us, all 53 of us, need to reaffirm in here in the city of Chicago. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Alderman Sposato next, and then if the chief sponsor wishes to offer up some clarification, as his colleague has requested. Chair recognizes Alderman Sposato.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's pretty simple to me what he's saying. Maybe it's not simple to everybody. I don't mean that as a knock to anybody. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I should say, this ordinance was before what happened on Sunday, the deplorable actions that happened on Sunday. I mean, they could have stood outside with their signs. They could have done a lot of things, but to go there and storm the gates with women and children and trying to intimidate them, that's just despicable. That's unacceptable. That's something we need to speak out against. I want to share something what happened to me in 2020 out of the blue. I got a Facebook message from a guy who I don't know from the 47th Ward. Nothing against you, Matt. I don't know what this guy was thinking. This was months after I called the savages that attacked the police at the Columbus statue. And he out of the blue sends me this text that says, "I think we know who the savage is, you deplorable shitbag." And I respond to him back, "Thanks, Timmy." His name was Tim Jipping. "Thanks, Timmy," parentheses, keyboard warrior. What would you refer savages to that try to kill or maim police officers? He responds back to me, "Go F yourself. The pigs are savages and shitheads. Who's the keyboard warrior now? Let's go. I have guns." Okay, I didn't know what to do. So I reached out to the police. They have a department, a cyber department. They took this pretty serious. They got a hold of the guy. Of course, the guy was dying and everything. You don't have guns. He didn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. What do you want to do? They wanted to arrest him. I let him go. I said, if he apologizes, we just happen to have one common friend on Facebook, and he was from a local union. I said, if your union president and a friend asked me to forgive you, I'll forgive you. They asked me, I forgave him. But this guy doesn't even know me. I mean, I don't know if he was serious. I don't know what kind of a nutcase he is. I don't know anything. This stuff is terrible. And we saw what happened to Hartman, and we saw what happened to Kirk. This stuff is deplorable. I don't understand what this world is thinking nowadays. I understand 100% what Jim is saying. We shouldn't be allowing this stuff. You want to protest? I think everybody here is for First Amendment rights. Go stand outside, do what you want, but intimidate women and children and crash a church service, to me, that's unacceptable. Jim, I'm with you 100%. I know exactly what you're saying. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Gardner.
Yes, Mr. President, I'm going to clarify so everybody is, I'm going to make it as clear as possible. In here, it says condemning such violence is not an endorsement of any particular viewpoint, but rather a defense of the right of all people, regardless of ideology or creed, to live and speak freely without fear of harm or harm. In August 27th of 2025, a man broke into a Catholic church, ironically, in Minneapolis, shot multiple people, killed 2 children, a 10-year-old and an 8-year-old, wounded another 30 children, I believe. And this is the same city. These individuals decided, and again, I want to make this crystal clear, this is not condemning people who want to protest. You have that right as Americans, right? We celebrate that. We see that endlessly. You can protest as much as you want, right? But there should be boundaries on where you're taking your protest, when you're taking your protest. Again, you could have protested on any other day of the week. You had 6 other days to do it on. You had 23 other hours to choose from on that day. But these individuals chose the day to go in while these people were worshiping. Again, I wrote this 4 months ago in September. So I had no idea. This was just after the shooting occurred in Minneapolis where 2 children were killed, another 30 wounded. And these individuals now, just on Sunday, took it upon themselves. They thought it was a good idea. And you could see from the video where they come in and they plan, they strategize in the parking lot. Then they walk in and they storm in. And they start berating these people and calling them all types of names. It again proves the validity of this resolution by we as leaders in the city of Chicago, in this great city, that we should come together, whether Democrat or Republican or independent, black, white, green, Christian, Jew, Muslim, stand against that. A house of worship? I don't care if it's a synagogue, if it's a mosque, if it's a church. You don't go into somebody's home, their house of worship, during their worshiping hour and berate them. If you can't understand that, I don't know how else to explain that to you.
Thank you.
These are your real, look at them. Now, we have seen all of these ridiculous resolutions that they passed. Nobody even questioned them. All of these ridiculous resolutions. We like what? Especially the resolutions when it come down to trans and all of that. Crazy. But then they can't even condemn this or say, yeah, you're absolutely right. These are your real, because these are your communists. These are the people who want lawlessness. The Democratic Party thrive off lawlessness and chaos. They don't have any else to incite their voters, excite their voters. They have nothing to offer their voters but this, and this will incite them to go vote because they have no policies that anybody in their right mind will vote for. They have nothing to offer you as an American, a real American. So they only can go with emotions and feelings. So all of that stuff that they incite is emotions. This is your Democratic Party. They cannot even condemn the common sense or just saying what's right. This is your party of evil. This is where we're drawing the line in the sand. I said this, I remember this video that I just saw that I said about 2 years ago. A line has been drawn in the sand. And it's clear. This is between good and evil. And these people, they don't have nothing else but evil. And God is not a God of disorder. He's a God of law and order. So whenever you see chaos, whenever you see all this where you can't decide whether a girl is a boy is a girl, and all these things, this is not God, guys. I mean, it's clear as day.
It's not. Now, I still would have protested the church if I felt any type of way, but I would have protested outside.
Like we do outside.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like we do, like outside. Like, so yeah, definitely, because I'm gonna protest wherever I feel like. These churches on worship day, oh, I'm outside. I'm outside with the facts, with the mud. I mean, showing just why people walking out. I'm just letting y'all know your pastor is terrible. He's a terrible pastor, but I'm gonna have the receipts because that's my First Amendment right.
Yeah,
however, these people are not protesting for anything. But the reason why they were set off because he mentioned Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
If they would have never mentioned Charlie Kirk, if he just would have said just condemning like how Silverstein and the Palestinians and all them did condemn the October, I think it was 7th, and then Palestine had, the ceasefire thing and stuff like that. It was no back and forth for everybody, stuff like that. But it was because he said Charlie Kirk. He said Charlie Kirk, and then that's when all of a sudden they started talking about fascism and white supremacy and all that stuff. Because a white person at this point cannot say they can't have no opinion
That's it. They want to, y'all.
Because
Everything is
if
white
they have
supremacy.
any opinion that's against anything that they're not for their agenda, you automatically a white
A white
supremacist.
supremacist. That's
But
it.
this is the first dude, Laspada, who got up and said that BS about the disrupting. This is he's an alderman. This is a banana suit.
Weirdo.
This is him right here. He got white boys and monkeys. They all got monkeys on monkey, and these are black boys. Right. Now this,
Listen. Right.
all these white boys, his friends, got monkey masks on, all white, and one horse. And then you got these black boys right here.
Isn't that racist?
But
When they
yeah.
had, if that would have been any Republican, any conservative,
If this would have
they
been
would have said,
this would have been Charlie Kirk.
yeah, oh yeah. If it would have been
Right here.
Trump,
If this would have
anybody,
been,
that's
if this would have been
racist.
Trump, if this would have been JD Vance.
Yes. They would have, this picture would have been circled.
It would have been everywhere.
This would have been on mainstream media. This would have been everything. Yeah, they've been talking about Abby Phillips would have been talking about it on CNN.
Yes.
Yeah,
everywhere.
they would have been on MS
Made
Now.
him apologize.
Yeah.
MJ. Oh my God. It would have been, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, this is
But this is
this is a white supremacist. Now I believe that he's a white supremacist. Okay, I believe that he's a Democratic white supremacist. Daniel Espada. I've been saying this since I've realized how terrible he is. He is a bicycle lane Nazi. Okay, so he wants all the bicycles. He wants y'all to just drive in bicycle lanes, and he's racist. But he's a white liberal racist. So as long as he's a white liberal racist, black Democrats are okay with this.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
I'm
if it was
just saying.
Republican, it'd have been all. Oh my God, it would have been condemn this. You
No,
condemn this.
they don't even discuss that picture. That's gonna be. I can't wait until midterms.
Yeah, we go.
That's gonna be one of my favorite pictures. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that on a shirt and walk around the first ward.
Yeah,
When I explain to him his voting pattern, he votes everything that he doesn't care about black children at all, as you can see, and then show this picture.
Yeah.
And then show his voting. Everything he votes for is to hurt the black community.
Yeah, isn't he a racist guy? That's calling what he is, a racist, right?
Let's
Look at
call
this
him
picture.
racist.
We're gonna do,
Democratic
y'all wanna play this
racist.
game? Y'all wanna play this game?
This right
We're gonna
here.
play this game. We're gonna play this game. Yeah, we're gonna play
This is
this game.
racist. This is racist right here.
Yeah, I thought because Republicans and conservatives, they couldn't do it. If they did this, every blackity black,
every blackity black,
and I call it blacky blacks, the black boule like Roland Martins, the D.L. Hughley's, those type of people, they would be Roland Martin. They all would have been on the show talking about this. But see, but this is what they do. So we're gonna play their game, and we're gonna see, because if you white, you can't do that. But see, somehow when you're a white liberal, you can do it. But if you're a white Republican, you can't do that. But
a white Christian, because you're a nationalist. You're a nationalist.
Yeah.
You're a white Christian nationalist, white supremacist.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Hillbilly, uneducated. That's what all that for being America first.
Yeah. So no, we finna play their game. But
play the game too. You gotta give the same energy they give the white conservatives, because every white conservative is a racist to the point that they don't even speak about it. I actually was at dinner earlier today with a beautiful family. It's a grandma, daughter, and a granddaughter. They're from Bolingbrook. And we were just talking about how messed up it is out here and how basically we have no choice but to go red.
No, we got
We have no choice but to go red. Even the daughter that is just shows she's about to be 18. She even agreed. You see what I'm saying? She's explaining how the schools are. She was like, they're not, and they both said that she's not even on social media. They told her she could not be on social media until she was 18 years old. So she don't even be on social media like that, but she said she's lost friends because she's not on social media. But she got 2 jobs. She just paid, she's getting her car, you just getting her car, all this stuff to make her do all the stuff that we used to have to do. To get car, get a car and stuff like that.
Responsible,
Being responsible, all those things, right?
Yeah.
So this is people tired.
Yeah.
People are tired, and people are tired all over. They're from Bolingbrook. But one of the things that her mother said she was a diehard Democrat. Diehard Democrat. Their mother, the lady, the daughter's mother-in-law said diehard Democrat. And then they really started research. She said, I just kept telling, like, the research started sending them stuff, and they started seeing for themselves, like, oh no, yeah, this is not the Democrats. These are
that
totally
used to
different.
be
These
this
are
is not
yeah.
your Democrats that was for closed borders, who was deporting all these illegals who were talking like MAGA just doing a little while ago. These, remember, because your Democrats back in those days would be considered MAGA right now. They were, every policy that Trump is just common sense policies they used to be for. So so all of a sudden, don't nobody know, oh my God, Trump is so far right. No, you all are so far left.
Y'all are somewhere else.
All the way over there. So common sense is not common no more. But you all used to have some common sense, the Democratic Party. You do, because we played some of your pieces on how you felt about illegal immigration, and you sound like Trump, even worse than Trump. You kind of sound like, I mean, you were the policies
by any means necessary.
Yeah, by any means necessary. Exactly. You were like radical with your immigration policies of getting them up out of there.
The issue is this, and this is something that the family said. How was he able to come here and do everything that y'all all said y'all were going to do?
Right.
And y'all never did anything. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like, you never had no plans to do it. Everything that he said he was going to do, he has executed. And y'all are mad. Y'all are mad because it's showing that y'all wanted to play theater with us. I was like, y'all put us in a reality show we didn't want to be no part of. We thought y'all were doing everything that y'all were supposed to be doing. We thought y'all was, we knew it was a little bit of corruption, but not to the extent that y'all done got us so much in the hole that Trump is starving y'all. It's only been a year. And y'all ain't got no money, to the point that y'all is laundering all types of money funneling into these churches. Because that's y'all last hope. That's black Democrat cities. Only hope to save any Democratic seats.
Yeah, it's those fake churches.
It's the fake churches because, and their congregation is dwindling.
Yeah. And so now listen, I'm gonna tell you like this: those churches, we will protest outside. We'll be respectable, and we're gonna be outside. We'll never go inside. But we will be outside.
Now I will go inside and sit and listen.
No,
See
I was
what
gonna say,
they
yeah.
see. If they really had an issue with the guy, they only had an issue with him because supposedly he's an ICE agent. So that's why they went in there, right? Even though it doesn't that you don't do that, right? So, but it would have been if you really felt like what he was doing was wrong, or he was, he was being, he was wrong or whatever. Why you didn't sit in there and make him uncomfortable and listen to his sermon? Because when I was at my cousin's funeral and Will Hall saw me, Will Hall looked like he thought he saw ghosts. And then he started talking about, a lot of people in this room may be going to hell. A lot of pastors going to hell. Yeah, you're one of them. Like, let's clearly you're talking about yourself. But it was more, he looked more uncomfortable seeing me there, listening to him preach, because I know how terrible he is and how corrupt he is as a politician. So everything that you're saying in here, it's uncomfortable because you praying over my cousin's body, but I'm also not paying attention to anything that you're saying when it comes to God, because I know you do not believe in no higher power. Because if you did,
and no way you
you
would be
would
doing the
not
things
be
you'd be
down
doing.
there doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I felt like even with Don Lemon, why didn't you sit in there and watch his sermon? Listen to his sermon. You know why? Because y'all have no cause.
Yeah.
There was no reason why you went to that man's church. See, when I go protest these churches, I have a reason. Just like I had a reason to protest Rainbow Push, how I have a reason to protest CTU, how I had a reason to protest out City Hall. Ain't nobody just out here protesting because they want to protest, but they protested because they getting paid to continue to keep this narrative going. That is some bullshit crap. So that resolution, it was perfect. Because at the end of the day, no one should be losing their lives over some political views, especially when when your own Democratic person, and that's why they mad now, because they feel like he's a traitor. When your own Democrat person on your side, that's why they don't like that other guy, my man, can't think of his name, because he keeps it 100, then they try to find anything wrong. They was mad that he brought up the illegal immigration thing. He was mad that he brought up the stab, he was saying it was too much stabbing in the CTA, right? Block Club Chicago tried to troll him, try to say he didn't know what he was talking about. After that happened, the next day, another stabbing at CTA. You understand what I'm saying? So, and now he comes with this resolution, which is a good resolution, supposed to be put truce to something. They got a problem with that. So I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, it's just Gardner. I told Gardner today, and I really hope that he consider it. He needs to leave the Democratic Party.
Yes, he do.
And the Democratic Party, it don't want you no more, Gardner. Like, you need to go independent, like Napolitano. If you don't want to go Republican, because I understand you once you Democrat, I guess you should. I wouldn't go back and forth, because I never like really. So yeah. So if maybe you want to go independent, if you don't want to go Republican, but there's no way in the world, Gardner, that you would be. Why would you be a Democrat and they're disrespecting you, your wife, and your black kids?
Right.
You got a black wife, you got black kids, you got a black wife that's an attorney, that's a lawyer. So she fits everything that the Democratic Party shows as the black woman, and they disrespecting her husband. And they call him a white supremacist. So I mean, at this point, Gardner, I would just get up. I would leave. I wouldn't. There's no way in the world I would even be no. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
that's that. And then then the last thing was, well, before that, but the last thing was the curfew, and they're gonna continue to do something on that. Because the curfew is still basically and Matt O'Shea, he really don't talk that much. And when he do talk, it do be making sense. But he basically said it just doesn't make any sense. Like, so you'll have this curfew, all these kids come downtown, and then once they act a fool or all that stuff, right? We take them all to the police station and what? Wait till their parents come and get them. We apprehend them, and then once he said we're gonna get more lawsuits. He says you gotta come back and think about something else, which makes sense. Like, what are we gonna do with all these kids? I'm saying, like, but the issue is, and this is what I said, all of the youth money, all of anything that's supposed to go to anything for the youth, and the CPS and charter school, all the money that the government is getting that's allocated to the youth is being stolen. So the kids don't have nothing to do but go downtown or act a fool or have sex or join a gang or go to one of these weird churches and they give them a job, and then next thing you know, they're doing other things. So at this point, there's no, they stealing everything. So these kids have no place to go. So I don't know what else is gonna happen. I think she frozen over here. We gotta get her off. But yeah, phone probably died. But yeah. So thank y'all for coming to my first recap. Try to do this every time. But before I go, because I want you to hear what Matt O'Shea says, because what he says does make sense. Let's see if she comes back on. Her phone probably dead. I know it was almost 11 o'clock. Next time I do is late this one, but all right, here we go. Brandon Johnson. Crazy man, right here.
Disrupt the orderly conduct of the meeting is not permitted. Disruptive or distracting actions, such as the stomping.
Amy, this looking so sad. All right, so this is, let me go back real quick.
Ordinance
Human.
used by the police for its intended purpose toward committee.
You, Mr. President, reporting for your committee on the committee, Dave Worthing.
Thank you, Mr. President. Reporting for your Committee on Public Safety, which held meetings on Wednesday, January 7th and Tuesday, January 20th of 2026. Committee recommends passage of the following items. Item 1, approval of the November Rule 45 report. Item 2 is Ordinance 21898, amending Municipal Code Section 181622 regarding declaration of time and site curfew for mass gathering and custody procedures. We have a substitute for that matter, which is before you now. I would move to accept the substitute at this time, following which we'll provide an explanation.
Very well. There's a motion on the floor to accept the substitute to the second item. It's been moved. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. This motion passes. Chair recognizes Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, Mr. President. The first change that you will note is in the title. All the appropriate sections remain the same, but the title has been changed from a time and site curfew for mass gatherings to a declaration of disruptive youth gatherings. That's significant because the problem with the time and site gatherings is endemic in the name, time and site. The weakness of that proposal is simply this: if you declare in advance a curfew that applies to a specific time and a specific site, and the teen trend decides, as teens often do, to change the time or move the site, the entire curfew application is voided at that moment. I'll give you a specific example, which actually happened a couple of summers ago in Alderman Robinson's ward. There was a teen trend that was advertised for 31st Street Beach. The teens got there and for whatever reason decided later to go to 35th Street. If you had a curfew that was a time and site application for 31st Street Beach, it would be null and void and could not be used by the police for its intended purpose at that new location. Obviously, the same thing would apply if the teen trend is advertised at 6 p.m. and everybody's late and it doesn't start till 8 p.m. You have a different time than what was announced in the time and site curfew. It would be unable to be used. This new ordinance avoids that entirely, and it does so in a way that I would argue is better than the original proposal because it avoids any constitutional questions that were raised under the original curfew ordinance. By utilizing authority that the police currently have, the Chicago police currently have the full authority to issue disbursement orders for illegal gatherings or for gatherings that become disruptive or start to break out into chaos and violence. They don't need to have that authority given to them by this ordinance because they already have it. There's no question about that, and there's no constitutional issues about that. What this new ordinance does is allows that tool to be applied to specific teen gatherings and to disperse those teen gatherings with two methods. The first method was successfully employed on New Year's Eve to communicate the fact that we are aware of a planned teen gathering and will not allow it to occur for all the reasons laid out in the curfew ordinance, because of the potential for violence, which we've seen. A life was lost just last month, because of the potential for criminal activity and chaos and disruption. If we have reason to believe that, the superintendent can then declare that we will enforce the existing laws for dispersing large gatherings. The second piece of that is if the large gathering occurs anyway, the superintendent and his designated officers, using the rank of sergeant and higher, can order a dispersal of that crowd, and anyone who fails to comply with that order can be taken into custody. If they are minors, they will be taken into custody similar to curfew custody, exactly the same way we do it now. They'll be brought down to the station and released to a parent or guardian. No arrest, no mugshots, no fingerprints, no booking. Exactly the same way that it functions now. This is a vastly superior tool to the one that was initially proffered. It avoids the constitutional questions, and it gives the Chicago police maximum flexibility to respond to events as they occur and to not be locked in to enforcing dispersal orders at only a specific time and only a specific place. I would move approval of the substitute at this time, and if no one wishes to speak, but I see someone does.
Okay, the chair recognizes Alderman O'Shea.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm uncomfortable with what's being put before us here on the fly. What I just heard sounds like we're opening up the city of Chicago for more litigation. If we've got a situation downtown like we did a few weeks ago, where a child went to the morgue instead of going home, What does this do to prevent that from happening? It would appear to me what I'm reading is that this is just something to placate. What does this do that gives the Chicago Police Department a tool to help them prevent another kid from getting shot and killed in a gang conflict downtown Chicago? The superintendent's dispersal order? That sounds to me like, go to the corner, young man, for the rest of class today. I'm uncomfortable with this. Is anybody else uncomfortable with this? What we clearly have is a very serious public safety crisis downtown, repeatedly. This came out 5 minutes ago. When every one of us talks repeatedly about what are we doing to protect children in our city. I'm not comfortable with this. And the rest of us shouldn't be either.
Does that complete your comments? Thank you, Alderman O'Shea. Are any other alders interested in speaking to the motion on the floor for the substitute ordinance to item number 2? All right, the chair recognizes Chairman Hopkins.
Yeah, thank you to close, and I will respond directly to my colleague Alderman O'Shea's question. What would this do? This would do exactly the same thing that the curfew ordinance would have done in that scenario. In the December scenario where the young 14-year-old lost his life, we had advance warning. We knew that that teen trend was publicized on social media. Under the curfew ordinance that was substituted for, we could have in advance declared with a 12-hour advance notice that Chicago police would be on scene attempting to prevent that event prospectively and proactively. This dispersal ordinance does the exact same thing, no difference. The second piece is if the violations occur. If you declare a curfew starting at 8 p.m. and at 8:01 p.m. the crowd is still there, the police are allowed to move into that crowd and begin making curfew apprehensions, not arrests. Again, that's an important point to make for the youth advocates here. But curfew apprehensions, it's for their own safety. If 14-year-old Amani Floyd had been taken into protective custody, he would be alive today. Unfortunately, we did not have that tool. This tool would function exactly the same. A dispersal order for a targeted group of youth would be for their own protection as much as for the protection of society at large. This is a superior tool to the curfew ordinance, and it will function exactly as the curfew ordinance was intended, only with greater flexibility.
Thank you.
I move approval of the substitute.
The chair recognizes Alderman O'Shea.
We're calling this an apprehension? So we're taking children and we're putting them in a police station and we're making their parents come and get, what about unlawful detainment? What about the lawsuits that we continue to have meetings on and settlements and tens of millions of dollars in settlements? What happens when something goes sideways downtown and we apprehend a group of teenagers down there looking to create conflict, but they're held against their will for a parent that doesn't show up for 12 hours or 18 hours? Because that's what's happening a lot of times. An apprehension? That sounds like litigation. We got plenty of lawyers in this room. Doesn't that sound like litigation that we're opening ourselves up for more settlements when the police department is just doing what legislation we're passing?
Thank you, Alderman O'Shea. The chair recognizes Alderwoman Nugent.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I want to thank Alderman Hopkins for his work on this tirelessly over the last few months. However, as this version is different than what was moved out of committee, I would respectfully request if my colleague would perhaps give us a little more time to review this before moving it today. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Chair recognizes Chairman Hopkins.
Yes, as the motion to substitute has already passed and the matter is pending, I will hold it for the time being and revisit it at the next meeting.
Very well, the chair has decided to hold this item. Is there any other business in this committee?
Yeah. So I can't stand Hopkins. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was living in Hopkins Ward during the 2023, the height of Brandon Johnson getting in and the inner Chicago with all those illegals, and he had none of this smoke for all of those illegals in the inner Chicago teaming up with the illegals at Standard, Streeterville, Ohio. That street was terrible. It was Modelo bottles everywhere. They were prostituting out there, baby strollers all over the place, music loud, trash all over the place. They hanging in front of Dunkin' Donuts, 7-Eleven, what's my Capitol Grill over there by Northwestern. They had the South Shore, the beach over there. Not South Shore, but the beach over there, because we lived 600 North Lake Shore. So there was like this place you can go in by where the Navy Pier and all that was. Trash all over there. They dogs was pooping all over the place. Robberies up. It was out of control. It was out of control. Summer 2023. I never saw so many people move. When I say them white people was moving up out of 600 North Lakeshore, they was moving out of all them condos. They was selling condos for $500,000 cheaper, $1 million cheaper. It was insane. And he had no smoke. No smoke. None at all. So it's just very funny to watch him act like this, because they say he was doing this too with the George Floyd riots, which I understand because they was acting the fool with George Floyd riots. But I'm just saying, when the illegals came, you just did not do any of these things. Like, you are one of the reasons why Streeterville and Magnificent Mile is empty. A lot of people left. A lot of businesses left. You were part of it. And Brian Hopkins has been an alderman for a very long time, So they all gotta go. I was gonna say they all gotta go. So I don't know about the curfew thing. I have my ideas for that, but I'm not going to say it because I know that they will take it, because I know they got somebody watching anything I do and everything I do. But I will say this. I'm glad that Trump is not sending no more money here, especially no money, any money by February 1st. I can't wait till they have a do a forensic audit, but all of the money that was allocated to the youth and for the youth has been stolen from them. They have lost a lot of money. Okay, the Department of Education. A lot of people hate Trump for getting rid of the Department of Education, but he had to. The Department of Education was the biggest grant laundering criminal operation that could happen. None of that money was going to children. It wasn't going to the schools. It wasn't going to higher education. It wasn't going to nothing but these people's pockets and whatever NGOs they teamed up with that said that they were for the betterment of our children, but never can have nothing to show for it, because they still in it and we were sponsoring their lifestyle. So it is what it is. I feel like in the next 60 to 90 days, these people going to jail. And I'll be happy to hear that and see that. But until then, I am going to start focusing on these churches. And I am going to, and the first church is going to be Trinity. Trinity United Church, yeah, it's going down because I think when there's it's not quite finished yet, but I want to show you something. Our website is getting it's getting remade. We're going to add some extra stuff on there. But one of the things that's my favorite is this, right? So it has follow the money. It just tells how much, how many contracts, all that. So it's getting all fixed up. And then I can go and get all the forms and not form 990s and all that. Yeah, I'm not playing with none of these people. Okay, like I got some good people behind us, a good team behind us, and that's just what it is. But yeah, I'm not. So yeah, we're gonna start with the churches and the church. Well, I'm gonna do. I'm like every day is gonna be something different. I'm gonna hit these. I'm gonna hit these unions, these different labor unions, but the churches, the pastor, all this until and send everything to housing oversight and the Department of Justice until the feds come here because we need some law and order. We need some law and order until we get in office. Until our people get in office and get the right people to regulate and get all this stuff together, I'm gonna have to continue to do this. So that's just what it is. I don't know what. I mean, I don't. These churches right now, they bad, but the aldermen are bad too. All these people are terrible people. So it is what it is. But thank y'all for watching. I didn't know we were gonna be on here for this long, but we are. Tomorrow is cocktails and conservatives and cocktails at the Trump Tower. So please come by. That's my pre-birthday kickoff, and then Friday I have my birthday dinner, and then Sunday I have a conservative art show. Matter of fact, I got a lot of stuff that's going good. I'll show another time. Thank you so much. Appreciate this. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta do it. I have to do it. I pray every day. That God will continue to let me show it without anything happening to me. But I'm gonna continue to do it because I believe in the higher power. I believe in my ancestors, and I believe that it's a time. So appreciate that. This was you can find this on Facebook, YouTube, of course. I have Twitch. We got it on Chicago Flips Red, Instagram, Chicago Flips Red, X page, my personal X page, and all that. So thank you, Ms. Margaret. And yeah, and please register to vote. My thing is register to vote. And today when I was eating, and I told you I met a family today, 3 generations: Boomer, Millennial, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha, Gen Z. One on the cuff because she's 17. The millennials said, and they're from Bolingbrook, they're white, and she was like, we just need to be independent. And a lot of people always say that, we just need to be independent. I hear it all the time from my group of people. You know what I'm saying? We just need to be independent. We just need to be independent. And you know what? I independently align with the Republican Party. So I independently align with the Republican Party. But yes, I agree. So I feel like people should register to vote as an independent and vote for who they see fit. But as of now, the Democratic Party does not fit at all. And until I feel confident enough that we have enough independent mindsets that's willing to all go independent, like the more independent voters and people start really seeing that both parties start seeing that an American citizen is all going independent, then they're gonna start to see that we're the customers, right? So they're gonna have to start trying to sell both of them. You know, the Democratic Party needs to see that. Right now, they're super comfortable. Oh, nothing's gonna happen. Instead, we got the LGBT, we got everybody on lock. We're gonna continue to lie to them and stuff like that. So we have to, the ones who want to register as independent, they should. If you're a former Democrat and you don't want to go Republican, cool. You definitely should go independent. But right now, nah, we're not ready. We're not ready yet. And when we're ready, I believe that we're going to be ready soon, because I feel like this generation is a generation to break the two political parties, right? Break it to the point that it should never have a hold on us like it does, especially the Democratic Party for Black Americans. We're literally fighting each other about us saying, you know what? If half of us don't believe in it, half of us grew up a certain way, grew up a conservative way, so we're just going to go this way. We believe the values over here make a little bit more sense. We're married now, like that lady. She's been married. That lady said she's been married for 20 years, right? And they have her, and so she's been married since she was, like 18 herself. Yeah, 18 herself. So they got married when her kid was 2. So now they're all together and all that stuff. I mean, so I'm just saying, like, they see it. You know what I'm saying? And like she said, she had to break down to her mother why the Democratic Party is just not good. And it's not. It's just not good. And we've seen both. A millennial, we got to see it before social media really hit, and then now the social media hit. And it just does not make any sense. And we're crazy to continue to allow this to happen in a country that is our country. So if you feel like you can't get down with neither political party, go independent. But as for me, I have to go on a local level with the Republican Party. We have to flip it red. And they agree. We have to flip it red because we're at no point of return. The Democratic Party is not going to do anything but continue to call everything racism, fascist, prejudice. If you're Black, you will go against if you defend any white person that they don't like, then you're a coon and all that stuff. But when it comes to the other way around, because they have some terrible white people like Jackson Potter, Biden, Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, I can go on and on and on. Hillary, stuff like that. They can't daily. We can't talk about their whites, the Democratic whites. We can't talk about them. But the conservative whites or stuff like that, they call you racist all day, and you're going to have to accept it. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know. I'm getting tired. So all right, y'all. I appreciate you. So yeah, you can't defend a white conservative Christian police officer. If you are if you're white, Christian, a police officer, Republican, have a millionaire, don't believe in the LGBTQ ideology being in schools, yeah, you pretty much a racist. In a black liberal democratic eye. You can't have no opinion at all. You can't believe in a nuclear family at all. You get it. Like it's the weirdest, craziest thing. Ain't nobody dealing with that no more. Like everybody has the right. I have the right, and I want people to understand this before I end. You have the right to vote for whoever you want to vote for. Like if you want to put Jesus Christ on the write-in ballot, you can. You can put anybody you want. Now, right now, we don't want you to waste your votes at all. We need these votes to go to these candidates who can do the job. But don't ever let nobody make you feel bad about who you vote for. Especially if you know what you're talking about and you're doing the homework. Half these people that vote blue just vote blue because the news, the mainstream is telling them. Rolling Stone is telling them. They have their favorite political influencer that they like that just continues to lie and stuff like that. They don't do no homework. They don't see what's going on. None of those things. They go back and talk about history in the 1800s and stuff like that. While me talking about something in the 1800s, the late 1800s, the early 1900s, even before Christ, all that stuff, and I'm dealing with what we're dealing with right now in 2026. Yeah, I need to talk to somebody for the last 20 years. It's been real weird, right? And that's the 20 years I want to discuss because I was 20 years old at that time. Now that I'm 40, I'm not going another 20 years with the Democrat is giving the excuse that that we're oppressed and we're never going to get anything is because the white man is holding us down. So I'm gonna go find a white man that's holding them down because no white man's holding me down. No, nobody's holding me down at all. So it's the craziest thing at all. Like it's bad apples. It's white bad apples. Bad black apples, bad Indian apples, Hispanic apples, Asian apples, bad teachers, bad police officers, bad politicians, bad business people, bad church clergy. It's just bad people out here. It is. So it's a case by case study. But what we're not going to do, we cannot afford to continue to not be politically aligned with our tax dollars. That's what I'm gonna leave it with. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all pretty soon.